It's tough. Why every time you see another black man gang, you see another black shorty, folk, we gotta look at each other like we are. I don't even know you, folk. I can't even say what up, or you might be like, what the fuck you saying what up, folk? You step on a motherfucking shoe, they ready to blow. Like, shit gotta stop, gang.
That's a good question, and I got you. Once again, it's your man TL representing the Level Ledger, coming here on this response. This guy came across my timeline. He had a good question that has a very hard answer. This, because it hits me a little bit hard when I think about this stuff, but it is what it is, and we just got to deal with it. So I'm going to give you an example. So let's talk about, dogs and the different types of ways that you can raise a dog, okay? If you have a dog, and it does not matter the breed, this is not a breed thing, this is a dog thing. You raise a dog to where he has an abundance of food. He gets fed at the same time every day. Nobody ever takes his food away from him. That dog's going to be very, very comfortable. That dog's going to be very, very docile. You could go up to him, you could take his food away from him, he's not going to trip. You could pet him while he's eating, he's not going to trip. But there are some people that raise dogs with the regular pack mentality, just like they would out in regular nature. When you have a dog that has to fight for his food, he's going to be more defensive about that food. You're not going to be able to pet him while he's eating. You for darn sure ain't going to be able to reach down and take his food while he's eating. It doesn't mean that he's a bad dog. It's just the way that he was raised. He has to defend his food. He don't know when his next meal coming. That's what they did to us after slavery. Whether this country wants to admit it or not, that's what they did. It's up until like the 40s and 50s that we were even really allowed to learn how to count. We were sharecropping, not knowing what a fair wage is. We always had less. We always had to fight for every single crumb. We always had to, like Ice Cube put in Friday, make it enough because you don't have enough. Make it enough. That was us. We always had to make it enough. And it's no matter what the species on this earth is, if there's not an abundance and they have to hoard what they have, they're going to fight to defend it. And they're going to fight ferociously to defend it. Don't make anything bad. It's just the way that it is. It's one of the reasons why we're asking for more things. Because poverty is going to always beget crime. There's no way around it. There's nothing else about that. It is what it is. So that's pretty much what happened to us. And why people want to call it aggressive. I tend to call it defensive. Even when we're loud talking, we going back and forth. It's really just a defense mechanism. It's responding to what's perceived, whether justified or unjustified, as a threat. It might not actually be a threat, but that's how the brain is perceiving it to be a threat. So we defend it. And it's also, young brother, that's how we get robbed. You know that. The way that people get close to us is by talking to us. Hey, yo, my man, hey, can I ask you something real quick? And next thing you know, you got something in your face. So it causes a standoffishness. It causes that, 6 foot rule, because, most people got a 3 foot rule. We typically tend to have a 6 foot rule, like, bro, don't come within arm's length of me. And all that's just because we grew up in poverty. We grew up having to defend the little things that we had. And it's going to take more than one generation to get that out. A lot of people like to make this out like, oh, well, that was so long ago. No. Civil rights movement was my parents. My parents. My mom and dad went through that. Their parents went through the whole sharecropping thing. This was not a long time ago. And you cannot do 400 years of taking up people's culture, taking away their heritage, teaching them how to fight for crumbs, giving them almost a junkyard dog mentality, and expect for it to be gone in one generation. You can't have 400 years of that and expect for it to be gone in 30. It's not that simple. But I want to give encouragement to my people. We are doing the right things. I love the fact that we're celebrating Juneteenth a whole lot more because that instills a pride, that instills a culture. I'm glad that we're hanging more Pan-African flags. That instills a pride. That instills a culture. Sing and lift every voice can sing. It instills a pride. It instills a culture, which is why so many of you know who, and I'm not talking about you good white people. I'm talking about them other ones that I don't even want to name. We all know who they are. That's why they hate it. That's why they don't want us doing it. And I'm asking, you good white people, don't fall for that. Don't let them convince you that what we're doing is a bad thing. It's not. We need that. We need that motivation. We need that push because we got to get that mentality out of us. And it's going to take time. And it starts off with pride. That's the way everything else starts off. Starts off with pride, moves on to family. Then we can start getting into generational wealth. But I just want to give a reason. I'm not trying to justify it or make it, non-justifiable, if that's a word. But I just want to give a reason to the young brother. And it's just because for generations, we was taught to fight for every little thing that we get. And we continue to do so. But keep your heads up. It's getting better. Let's just keep working on it. Love.